Hi all, Adi here from Haunts and Jaunts. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Today is more of a jaunt than a haunt, and I'm in deepest, darkest Hampshire, and I'm at St. Peter at Vincula Church here in Colemore, Hampshire. There's been a church here since Saxon times. Although the church is no longer open for regular worship, it is still consecrated and remains open to everyone. So we're going to have a look around and see what we can find. As always, I've only done a little bit of research, more to figure out how to get here, so we'll just discover it as we go along. Anyway, let's go see what we can find. In the second half of the 20th century, it just became more and more difficult to keep the church in good repair. So the church's I keep saying this word wrong, Conservation Trust. Honestly, such a mouthful for me today. It's the heat, it's a very odd day, and they've been taking care of the church ever since. So we're just going to go inside, and I have to say, this is the first time I believe I've ever seen a red door on a church. Okay, so call ring, slide the handle. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful old place. And I've just spotted the font over there. So the font is the oldest object in the church. It's made from Purbeck marble and it's 12th century. And it's quite unusual because it's got different designs on each of the four faces. And the craftsman who carved it, they think he may have been practicing his work before he started work at Winchester Cathedral. So that's a different design. A different one again, like little diamond shapes. And then little pillow. So the mounting at the top here, and the lid cover are Victorian, and then inside is a lead font. See if I've got, oh, we can lift that up. It's no longer used. That's heavy. Some of the fonts in churches, although I personally haven't found one yet, have witch marks in it to ward off evil, because they used to bless the holy water at Easter and then keep it there all year round. But they were worried that, some witches or bad people would come and steal the water and use it in spells. So they put their marks on it to protect it. So I haven't found one yet, but I shall video it if I ever come across one in one of the churches. Now, the bells were originally hanging in the church tower, but they're now suspended from this modern iron beam. The smaller one is dated from 1380, with the Wokingham foundry mark of a lion's face and a groat are still visible. The larger bell is dated 1627 and was cast at Reading Foundry. So who knows how they were transported to this remote outpost. The ladder that would have originally led up to the bell tower has RW 1694 etched into the side. It's believed to stand for Richard Ween, who was a local villager, and it's assumed that he actually made the ladder and he died in 1704. And behind me, I've just found the James Cookson Memorial, and he was a rector here at the church for 59 years. So he was rector here, as I said, for 59 years, and he had the misfortune to lose most of his young family in 20 years. That's really sad. Lieutenant George Brian Cookson of the 8th Regiment died at Dinnerport in the East Indies in 1814, aged just 22. Captain John Cookson was the rector of the Royal Bengal Artillery. He died in 1819, aged just 31. And the rector also lost a daughter, Anne Constantina, in 1821, who was just 21. And then his wife, Sarah, in 1829, aged just 50. And then another son, oh my God, poor man, Thomas, in 1834, aged 30, just a year before his death in 1835, aged 83. James Cookson was a scholar and the oldest magistrate in Hampshire. That's a really sad story, isn't it? I hope his faith brought him some comfort. I mean, some people really have really, really sad lives, don't they? To lose all of your family like that. Really sad. Let's see what else we can find. The name St. Peter ad Vincula, which actually translates to St. Peter in Chains, is actually a very unusual name in England, and it links this rural parish to the Roman church in Rome, where St. Peter was said to have been imprisoned. Although Colemore today is little more than a scattering of houses, the church has stood here for centuries. Its origins trace back to Norman times, with the earliest parts dating from the 12th century. Over the years it has been altered and restored many times, but the medieval character still shines through, and it doesn't have any electricity, so if they have any services, it's always by candlelight. It's a very simple but peaceful place, with stone walls, wooden pews, and a plain font where no doubt countless generations have been baptised. The church, which once served as the spiritual heart of the community, even as the village itself has dwindled. Though Colemore is no longer a bustling parish, St. Peter ad Vincula remains a treasured link to the past. It stands as a reminder of England's rural heritage and of the enduring presence of faith even in the smallest of places. So if you ever find yourself out in Hampshire countryside, you should come here, just have a look around, as the silence in this ancient church speaks volumes. Behind me is the north transept, and that is the oldest part of the church. Let's go and have a look. This is a small 11th century window and a larger 12th century window. And there's obviously the candle snuffer. It's used to put out the candles because there's no electricity. And then over the 12th century window is this. I'm sure that's pretty modern. This old rustic table just inside the transept, it said it may have been used as an altar and was probably made out of old floorboards. Yeah, really old. I don't know what this is. Okay, don't know if that's fallen from somewhere. And over here by the old piano, it's a water stoop, and the water stoop and this is a squint. Connect the transept to the chancel. Though the reconstructed squint, through the reconstructed squint, the progress of communion can be clearly seen. Old candles there, and then there's some old pieces of masonry. They do look like steps, don't they? I'm sure someone will correct me. So they are the remains of a staircase that are cut into the thickness of the south wall, which would have given access to the road loft. The iron hooks of a former door, I'll spin that around in a minute so you can see, to this staircase are still in position, and to reach it there must have been some form of removable wooden steps. Let me show you the old hooks there for the door. There's one there and one still there. Yeah, I did think they looked like steps. It seems to have some energy here. Maybe it's haunted, I don't know. If you're local, there's the stories about this place. Who knows? Right, let's have a look. So the screen here, which is very, very old, these were originally put in to protect the mystery of the communion from the ordinary lay people that were attending sermons, because back in those times everything was read in Latin and obviously would have been pretty incomprehensible to most of the people, unless they were very, very educated, which 1,000 years ago is probably very doubtful that they understood what was going on. And there's an old iron cross there. It's pretty beautiful actually. Still got a stone in the middle there. Oh, excuse me, it's tractor going past. And then we're going to walk in here. Oh, this is old. We can barely make out some of memorials. Here lieth the body of, too difficult. You can see into the squint from the other side. And this east window is dated 1876 and comes from the workshops of C.E. Kemp. The left-hand pane here shows St. Peter in chains and refers to the story of St. Peter being assisted by an angel to break free from imprisonment from King Herod. He is also holding the keys to heaven, which it was his traditional sin. And then there's all this medieval painting still around. Although it looks like it's quite damaged in places, doesn't it? Surprising that survived the Reformation. And then in here is the Easter sepulchre, and that was totally rebuilt in Victorian times. The crucifix and sacred elements were placed in here, and they were kept here from Good Friday to Easter Day in commemoration of Christ's entombment and resurrection. So yeah, that does look really new, doesn't it, compared to everything else. And there's some more tombs down here. That's a much easier one to read. Beneath this stone are interred the remains of the Reverend Harrison Clegg, rector of Colemore and Peter here, who departed this life August the 20th, 1766. He was only 32. He through his life supported his station where it became in dignity, and after 2 years' illness patiently submitted to the just decree of heaven. And then this one is 1669, can't make out the name. And this is Reverend James Cookson. So that's the memorial. That man had such a tragic life. It's really, really sad. It says there. I mean, he was rector here for 59 years, but he lost all his family. Rest in peace, Mr. Cookson. It's really sad. And then this one, you can't read it. So just have a look in the graveyard. I mean, there's not that many graves. I'm sure there's loads, but just can't read them. And this was, well, it is the tomb of Reverend Hervey, I think his name was. And he oversaw all the Victorian restoration work. And he also wrote an account of life in Colemore. And one of the things he wrote about was the men used to attend church in with embroidered socks, and the ladies used to have scarlet cloaks. Apparently that's something really famous. And then this bit here would have been the Saxon door into the church. Another beautiful little find. I absolutely love these places. These are my favourite days out. And I want to thank one of my new subscribers on here who actually told me about this place. I'd never heard of it. So thank you so much for letting me know, and if anyone ever has any suggestions or places to go, then please let me know in the comments. So I'm going to wrap it up now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, can you please like and subscribe? Sorry it's very bright. It doesn't cost you anything, but it means the world to me. So I shall see you for the next jaunt, or maybe it'll be a haunt. Who knows? Whatever comes my way. Take care and stay spooky. She says she tries not to fall into a grave.